We are mucus free. We are mucus free. We are mucus free.
We are mucus free. What is going on, brothers and sisters?
We are mucus free. We are mucus free.
All right, let me get my audio together. What's going on, brothers and sisters? This is Professor Spira, and welcome to the Mucus-free Life podcast. And on this show, we talk about the Mucusless Diet Healing System and things related to the mucus-free lifestyle. And let me know if my audio, something's up. Let me see if this fixes it. If not, I'll have to change microphones. But as you know, we can't have an episode without some kind of problem with the audio. So, but I hope everything is going really well with you, that you are on the transition, on the path, getting yourself together, cleaning yourself out, getting rid of all of the mucoid plaque, getting rid of all of the phlegm and the slime, keeping yourself immune from the little deities that they say are out here to attack us and take us out, that you're getting the lymphatic system moving, that your kidneys are filtering, that all of these beautiful things are happening for you. And if you're first time you're ever hearing about any of this, then I invite you to come on in, check out the Mucus-free path, check out the Mucusless Diet Healing System by Professor Arnold Ehret. This is a book that transformed my life and transformed the lives of thousands of people, and touched people who don't even realize that they were touched by it, didn't even realize that Arnold Ehret had such an important impact in their life, from people that went on to become naturopaths or some of the famous natural healing people that are out there today, to even the creator of Apple Incorporated. Arnold Ehret had a hand in inspiring literally millions of people, and yet so few people really know who he is, have an appreciation for what he was about and what his work was about. And we try to carry on that legacy, and at the end of the day, it's about sharing information with people so that they can heal themselves. The body is remarkable. The body is self-healing when given the opportunity, when given the proper context, the proper situation. But your body's not going to heal as long as you're eating, chicken fried gravy steak and chicken McNugget and chicken a la king and all chicken and fish and cheese, and the body's not going to heal. And so go to the hospital. What are they serving you? Meatloaf and chicken pot pie and just all this insanity, so far away from any kind of semblance of healing, any kind of semblance of rationality. And so I've practiced a mucusless diet now for over 18 years, and I've been privileged to be able to help thousands of people transform their lives using this information. And it's a game changer. But too many people still aren't understanding the principles, not understanding the point and the message of the transition diet. And this week, I came up with this idea of the transition diet is like, to me, it's synonymous with the universe. I mean, that's the proper context. That's the proper way to really think about it, which is, so when people ask me, because I get this question often, where people are saying, how long does the transition take? So my response now is going to be, how long does the universe take? How long does the universe take? The transition is part of nature. The question is, in the methodology, in the genius of Ehret's work, is showing a pathway to get in line with what is already natural. Transition is already natural. And anytime you're seeing these folks that's out here promoting whatever they promote, and they're not talking about the transition, you have a problem. Because at least part of whatever they're talking about is not going to be in alignment with nature and natural law. It's not good enough to just say, okay, well, what's the human body supposed to consume? Let me just go and consume that. Now you're breaking other rules that otherwise wouldn't be there if our ancestors didn't go against and break all of these rules. But since they did, we have to act accordingly. And part of that accordingly is a transition diet. And right in here, you want to check out transition diet. Those lessons are very important. But that's a real interesting kind of concept to me. Is I think that's a perfect way to describe it. For me, transition is synonymous with the universe. And so like, well, how long does a transition take? Is it, 2 years? I don't know. Is the universe take 2 years? Is that the universe? The universe is infinitely expanding. Now, yeah, the science people come in and say, oh, it's finite and it's this and that, and it started here, it's going to end there. Okay, well, let's wait and find out who's going to be around long enough to see if that's what happens. I challenge you. Let's all stay here that long and find out. The universe, as far as I'm concerned, is infinite, and that's the transition. But people don't like to think about it like that. They want an end point, and it's kind of like I'm saying, well, that's still, even the desire for that, to me, speaks of death culture desire. The concepts and the conception coming from the death culture. There has to be an end. There's got to be an end. I got to get to the end. I got to get to the finish line as fast as I humanly possibly can. Where's it at? Where's that finish line? And it's like, my wisdom and advice is enjoy the process and enjoy the journey. Don't be so fixated on the destination, especially when once you get to that destination, it's like, well, then I should ask you, well, then what? What are you gonna? Okay, so you've been mucus-free for a year. Was that your destination? Then what? Well, there's always more. But if you have some kind of ironclad idea about where you need to go or the finish line, you're going to be stuck once you get to wherever that is. And, I'm thinking of Brother Air. Brother Air right now he's doing some incredible fasting. He's not stopping for where he's at. And so so for me, it's all about transition. That's always going to have to continue to just really hit on that. What's going on, man? Alpha. What's going on, Steve? And Anna, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat. And Brother Air's on here. Was good. Brother Air, aka Willie Smart Jr. And we got some fun emojis here. What's going on? Key portal unlocked. And Anna says, give thanks, Prof. Have to go. We'll catch you with later. Well, again, I thank you so much for the love, because this was one of them days I had to push myself a little bit to get to the to get to the podcast. This was one of those days where I kind of would have, if I hadn't committed, like I'm gonna get on here and do podcast, I would have shut down all my social media, would have just kind of chilled, fasted a little bit, turn the phone off. It was one of those days. But spirit, call on the spirit of the ancestors. It's like, if I'm supposed to do this, someone has to hear this message today, and it's got to come through me. So I'm be on my post, as we say, and do what I said I'm gonna do. And then once I'm here, of course, I love you guys, and I always enjoy sharing this information and doing what I was talking about. I was doing versions of making my own radio shows and stuff when I was like 4 and 5 years old. And so I've been practicing for this podcast for a long time. But just with that said, I want to sometimes it's okay for us to say like, look, this might be a hard day, or this might be a day of a lot of elimination, or maybe you're fatigued or something. And we always try to talk about that. You don't want to watch someone necessarily doing a broadcast like, oh, like just totally out of it. Even though we used to do, well, we had the radio show every week, the Immortality Pipeline back in the day. Those are some good, some of those shows where you get to see some of the real stuff, because, you know, we show up and going through elimination, you know, blowing my nose, you know, on the radio and that kind of stuff. But just to understand, like, this stuff is real, you know, the transition is real. Going through these eliminations is part of it. It's finite. I mean, that's what was real exciting to me, was the finite nature of these of the eliminations, like the kind of elimination that I used to go through, where I was blowing my nose in the beginning of practicing the diet. The first couple of years of practicing the diet, I go through these eliminations. It's just like I'm just a faucet of mucus. It's coming out of me because my body was finally given the opportunity to actually release this waste without me doing something to suppress it. Because for so many years growing up, I would take pills that every time I got a little cough or a little runny nose, I would take some pills, and that would just totally, like, literally stop the lymphatic system from doing anything. It's like freezes it. And you want to know how to create, you know, it's like you want a recipe for chronic illness at a young age, you know, like, will stop your lymphatic system every time your body's trying to eliminate, freeze your lymph system right in its place, so that, and dry yourself out. You know, the decongestants, they leave you so dried out in your head and feeling so weird. That's a recipe for disaster, and that's the path I was on. That's a path that unfortunately a lot of brothers and sisters are on. So this is an important message to get out there, that it's time to get ourselves in line with nature as best as we can. It's not going to be perfect. We don't talk about perfection on this channel, as far as you got to be 100% such and such. Like, nah, this is about get on the path, do the best you can with the principles that you have it at your disposal, you know, at your take advantage of what you have. And the Poodle Freak says, I'm loving your course so far. Thank you. Thank you so much for enrolling. Talking about the Mucusless Diet Healing System e-course. Links for that are down in the description if you are interested in that, where I basically take you by the hand. Every lesson that's in the Mucusless Diet Healing System book, we go lesson by lesson and really delve deep into the ideas and things that people often miss, that almost always miss when they read the Mucusless Diet. We go back and we say, well, let's focus on this and check it out for a second. And I also have some food prep videos in there with some recipes. That's the closest thing. I always get the where's your recipe book and the art of transition. And I know it's been coming soon for years. And one of these days we're gonna get that done. But in the meantime, there's I think it was 14 recipes in the in videos, accompanying videos in the e-course for the food prep. And I know people really enjoy that kind of thing. And good evening, what's going on? And it's Rachel. Let's see. Hi, I'm new to the information. Just bought the book. Well, I appreciate that, most definitely. And so what I decided to maybe talk about today in the research and development team meeting yesterday, somebody brought up Matt Stonie. And I didn't really know who this is. And it's like, oh, he's pretty popular on YouTube and doing all the food eating challenges. And maybe we do a mucusless diet eating challenge, or the Matt Stonie mucus-free challenge, or something like that. And I'm like, okay, well, let's take a look at who this dude is and just see. And you'll be exploring this with me together. I haven't really looked at a whole bunch of his stuff. I know that he is a competitive eater, and he used to get his butt whooped by Mr. Joey Chestnut, who we've talked about from time to time on this channel. The legendary Mr. Joey Chestnut, who for the past 10 or 11 years has won the hot dog, the famous hot dog eating contest, and that kind of thing. And so, but I guess Stonie he's up there. He's trying to do that, but he's become somewhat of a popular figure here on YouTube. And not that long ago, I did the video Nikocado. We kind of examined him as a case study when eating raw, when raw veganism goes wrong. He is the perfect case study of what happens when you do not transition on the Mucusless diet, using the Mucusless Diet Healing System methodology. And if you try to just dig into the raw foodist dogma, just 100%, and just be so fixated on that without any concern of mucus-free eating or any concern of transition, then that is more common than you think in terms of just going back to the terrible foods. Maybe not as common to become a mukbanging legend on YouTube, but that type of fall off is definitely something that is quite that happens quite a bit, unfortunately. And I queued up a clip of that of my Nikocado avocado video here, where he was just to give a shout out to that. If you, and I recommend checking that video out. If you the 300-pound raw from raw vegan to 300-pound mukbanger, that is that. So that's that. So today we are going to examine and give our analysis of Mr. Stonie. And one of the reasons we do this, to me, it's so important to dissect and analyze and critique the pus and mucus eating world. Now, why is that important? Well, one, it helps you become conscious. It helps you wake up and understand what I used to do is actually crazy and insane, and not good. And the path I'm on and what I'm doing, at least it makes more sense than that. And the reason that we have to do that is because in the pus and mucus based world, they can have you believing that eating fruit is harmful for you, that eating fruits and vegetables will harm you, that you will die or be deficient if you don't eat fishes and whatever is on their list, or if you don't take their supplement pills, that you're going to go through hell. But they don't talk about the hell that you go through when you get a stroke and the heart attack. 50,000 people a day die of a heart attack, 25,000 a day die of cancer. Where's our epidemic here? Where's the shutting down of all slaughterhouses? Where's the shutting down and the conversion from dairy farming to pineapple farms or some other farm that we could use? Where is that? Because putting on a face mask ain't going to help you when it's time to have your heart attack and your stroke. But getting off of the pus forming foods, the meat and the dairy, will help with that part and all the other inflammation that comes with that. So that's why we talk about this, because people actually think we're off our rocker because we eat some fruit, because we eat fruits and vegetables. And heaven forfend, we do lemon juice and distilled water enemas. So, but this, this is what's normal. So Mr. Stonie, 13.5 million subscribers. Let that sink in. I'm happy when I get like a couple news, like, yeah, I almost got 18,000, 13.5 million subscribers. Bravo, Mr. Stonie, boy. Who would have thought that's what you need to do. Just stuff yourself. Have a talent for gluttony and you can have a lot of followers. That's wow, that's great. So a few of these different. Let's just see what's he doing with this baloney. Ugh. All right, let's check out this McDonald's thing. I'm avoid playing the audio of stuff so I don't get hit with anything. But let's just see what's he doing. I don't think he's not even eating in this one. So let's not do that one. Let's go. Well, all right, let's see this. Let's see what's up with this baloney thing. Oh, doesn't that sound like that was made with love?
All right, today we're eating bologna.
Okay, so this looks like we're eating bologna today, guys. This is going to be the bologna challenge, and let's examine the technique. Okay, so he grabs about 10 or 15 slices and eats it and drinks water with it to help it go down there. And now I will say that most of you know that practice a Mucusless diet or that studied Eric's work. In fact, I'll ask a question to be answered in the chat. What type of physiology would Arnold Ehret presume Mr. Stonie to have? What do we call that type of physiology? And I'll wait. There's a bit of a delay before I get my answers here. Yes, it is gross and sad. Let's see, how's he? There's the end. Oh, don't. He's got some crumbs down there. And answer to the question is lean. Very good. Thank you. Manifest me. Thank you very much. And then uric acid type of physiology is a term that has evolved a bit, where Ehret he mentioned that a lean type is characterized by having a great deal of uric acid, and then we kind of adopted uric acid as a type, where we say uric acid type of physiology, mucus type of physiology, but the original terminology that Ehret used was lean and fat types of physiology. And if you want to know more about that, check out the Mucusless Diet Healing System book. And it's an incredibly useful way to describe different kinds of body types and why they function the way they function. It's very unique. And let's see here. What else we got? Oh, the Burrito-zilla. Let's see.
What's up, everybody? This video is for you guys. This video is...
What is this? Oh, that's like 5 Chipotle in one. Oh, this one's not as impressive. This one's not as big. Man, people go crazy with these those noodles. Let's see here. Oh, see, I did a McDonald's. Let's see if his McDonald's video is any different from mine. I did a McDonald's video where I went up to the through the drive-through. Let's see.
Quarter pounders with cheese.
Let's see.
All right, here we go.
Hi, Melvin.
Oh yeah, can I get 4 double quarter pounders with cheese, 2 large French fries, 3 10-piece nuggets, 4 medium Diet Cokes.
4 medium Diet Coke.
Yeah. 90 minutes could slash.
Someone offered you, oh, 3,500 because you finish everything on this tray. Now, oh, come on. That's not even that. Honestly, that's not that much. I could have ate all this back in my 2 foot longs with chili cheese and a cheeseburger day. This ain't that much. Okay.
Player games bait, right?
All right. But so again, keep in mind, we're the ones that's weird. We eat apples and oranges. I had some pineapple today. Had a salad. So we're the ones weird. And this is okay. You know, 23 million views. You know, 500,000 likes. You know, so this is acceptable. This is because in a more rational world, wouldn't you think that this would sort of be the outlier, that this would be the thing that is considered to be very strange, and eating fruits and vegetables? Because I will bring you to the attention of I've been making my own mukbang videos to try to counteract some of what these folks do. And so I have some mukbang videos too that you can see on my channel. There's a mango mukbang and dragon fruit mukbang and Florida orange mukbang and a melon mukbang. So I've been doing mukbangs too, but mine don't get as many views as his. And I could have ate that, man. I'm not even impressed here. Let's find something more impressive. What in the
Plus, got a pretty cool announcement related to that, but more on that later. All right, guys, can you stack 1,000 slices of pepperoni on a single slice of pizza? Put your guesses down below. Right here.
But why though? It's like, but why?
Pizza. I think the only rule is going to be none of the pepperoni can no more than 10% of any.
Now look at how nasty that piece of little pizza is. That's a pathetic piece. I mean, for that world, if you're into the pizza thing, you can't think that that's a good piece of pizza.
Individual slice of pepperoni to be touching the plate. It's got to be vast majority to be on the cheese pizza. All right, so there's not much else to say. The rules are in place. The challenge is pepperoni.
So they just make up challenges. I guess they just like, okay, so what you do, you take this and then you do that to it and then eat that, you know. It's like real a good use of your creativity as a human being. One of the things that separates us from the animal kingdom, our creativity and our ability to reason. And this is how we choose to use those gifts. Good job, us.
I had to spit all over the place. Quick word from the sponsor.
Yeah. Okay, buddy. I mean, just, you know, oh man. We need to watch some videos on intestinal worms. I think I'll cue that up right about now. Because yeah, this bruh, man. He's about to eat the dog. He's gonna eat the dog. Oh, okay, never mind. I mean, but you wouldn't be surprised, would you? So let's see. And here's a so I just found something interesting. I found a mukbang video of from inside Matt Stonie's stomach. So let's so this is inside Matt Stonie's stomach, and it is a special it's a tapeworm. His tapeworm filmed a mukbang. And so let's do a review of his tapeworms mukbang video. Very interesting. Yeah, so his tapeworm is he's eating it up. Yeah. And by the way, when you practice a mucusless diet and you get into eating fruits and vegetables and fasting and lemon juice, distilled water, enemas, you get these kind of stuff coming out of you. Especially if you ate meat or you eat meat, you can rest assured you got some kind of parasites going on. And if you don't want them anymore, then you can eliminate them if you want to. You got some kind of parasites going on. And if you don't want them anymore, then you can eliminate them if you want to. Uh-oh, where is that at? Darn it. Okay, I gotta find where this is at coming from. Bear with me a moment. I have no clue where that echo is coming from. Bear with me a moment. In the chat, let me know. Do you guys hear a double echo kind of thing going on? In the chat, let me know. Do you guys hear a double echo kind of thing going on? Chat, let me know. Do you guys hear Okay. 2 times. Yes. Man, I have no clue where that's coming from. Check 1, 2. Let's see if it does it here. Check 1, 2. Yeah. Let's see if it does it here. So bear with me. I'll try to figure this out. All right. Thank you for for bearing with me a moment. I've found the culprit. I think actually let me. All right, we're back. I got the wireless going. So yeah, anyway, yeah, tapeworm hella delay. Yes. Sorry. I figured out what the problem was. So it's all right. But that was a pretty instructive mukbang video by Mr. Stonie's tapeworm. So that's cool. Let's see. Let's take a look at his channel and see what's going on here. He's got the Mr. Beast challenge. Let's see, massive food. So just look at this stuff here. World's largest, dumbest Filet-O-Fish. Yeah. Fast food. And we were talking, I think I'm going to make some fast food videos. Now there's still an echo. There shouldn't be an echo anymore. I'm not hearing an echo anymore. Man, just look at this. So, two guys versus the never-ending pasta bowl. Yeah. Actually, that's interesting. I was a big fan of Olive Garden. I used to eat of Olive Garden all the time.
More now.
Oh, this is old from 2013. That's before he got his video skills together. Eating bacon world record. 182 strips in 5 minutes. Okay, good. Thank you. Let's see. All right, let's just pick one of these and then we'll just can't believe, man. It's like each one of these has millions and millions of views. Raising Cane's Khaled. What's up with this flaming hot Cheetos thing?
Dude, I love flaming hot Cheetos. This is gonna be no problem.
Well, he got his calories in for the day. His 10,000 calories in. That's cool. You know, he's healthy. He's getting all his nutrition. I never got into flaming hot Cheetos. There were people who was real into it, and I stayed away from it for some reason. I can't even remember trying them. I had no interest in the flaming hot versions. I used to eat regular Cheetos. Not that many of them. Oh, he ain't gonna finish these. You failed. He failed. Failure. Drink milk. You got to top it off. Top it off with a little bit of pus. That's how you do it. Good stuff. Ooh, one gallon jar of pickles, massive bowl of Fruit Loops, 5 whole pizzas plus Q&A. All right, so you get the idea. So my review of Matt Stonie is that he's a lean type, aka uric acid type of physiology, and he is going to prematurely age himself. And you know, hopefully, as we say with everybody, hopefully they discover the Mucusless Diet Healing System and they get it together. But he's making it pretty hard on himself. You know, and this also puts into perspective, even though most of us and most of you didn't eat like this, but when you start to really think about how much we've eaten over a long period of time, and like every bit of this must be accounted for physiologically. Like none of, just because you're not currently having a heart attack or a stroke, or you're still able to breathe without a bunch of mucus in your nose or in your throat, just because today it's like that, don't mean that it could change overnight tomorrow. And that's the risks. And so it's the gamble. And this is the gamble that folks deal with every day, you know, on this path. And he ate a gallon of fruit, that old fruit cocktail, man. I mean, but think about, you know, if all this energy that he's doing it for this, if this went into cleaning himself up, if this went into putting together mucus-free transitional menus and doing enemas. I mean, if you want to be extreme, go do some enemas in. You know, let's see that. Let's see the anti-mukbang, the live enema. You could live stream himself doing, you know, enemas. Do 50 lemon 50 lemons with the rind. You know, like let's set those records. Let's set why not set that type of record instead of we got to set the record for most egos in a 10 minutes type of record. Peanut butter and jelly world record challenge. Giant poutine. I guess I don't even know that. Some said that right. Poodle Freak says he will when he's old and sick if he makes it that long. Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's the sad situation, because we don't go on here just wishing, hoping for people to have problems. I hope this dude sees this video and is like, you know what, let me check out that Mucusless Diet thing and give it a read, brother. And they have the revelation like, okay, I've been doing this all wrong, and then we can get some the enema anti-mukbang video and get into that. But when I just think of when people are so concerned with how long the transition takes, they're not taking into account every little morsel of mucus or pus forming food that you ever put in your body. You are held accountable for that, and that will come to the surface, and you will have to deal with it one way or another during the detox process. You want to use that word, that's a popular word right now, detox, transition, whatever word you want to use. You're held accountable for that. You have to deal with that cause and effect, what I years ago called physiological karma, my concept that I kind of put out there. But just this idea of cause and effect, that you will be held accountable. You will be judged, in other words, by way of how you ate, and it's like you can't pray it away, you can't hope it away. All you can do is, if you want to hope and pray that you can get in alignment as well as you can. Be as aligned with the transition diet and with the principles to clean yourself up and get in tune with the universe, get in tune with the earth and its environment. Just hope and pray that if you are into that, if you're into the hope and the prayer piece, well, then that's what you want to hope and pray for. Not hope and pray that it's like, oh, I hope this isn't painful. I hope this isn't. You already signed and made those decisions years ago. Your ancestors helped you make those decisions years ago. We don't have a lot of control over a lot of that, but we have control over our alignment with the system and our alignment with the transition and the methodology. And, that's where it's at. That should be our focus. And because all it is, we gotta deal with all this, and that's why it's not always fun. It's not always an easy road, because we got all of this. We got all this in our system, in our past, and we got a lot of work to do, as we like to say. And you say maybe his stomach has a big ego next to the worms, or his worms have ego. Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a video. I'm gonna post that sometime. But we have my little intestines back here, and most people have 32 feet of impacted intestines. And what do these look like? What do they resemble? What other part of the body does the intestines resemble? Looks kind of like the brain, if you want to make that kind of leap to see like, oh, that's sort of, everything's related. And we literally, and there's traditions that say the stomach and the intestines are a second brain. So we literally have shit for brains, in our, literally, that's what is going on. 32 feet, 20, 40 pounds of this, uneliminated mess. And that is considered to be totally natural. And I'll share it wouldn't be a podcast episode if I didn't share some mucoid plaque video or image with you here on the video. But this is what we're dealing with. All this is real. This kind of stuff came out of me. This is a picture of mine. This is a these pictures, these are coming from a webinar I'm working on. This is you get a sneak peek at a webinar here. But yeah, this slime, these intestinal worms, you got to choose your path wisely, because stuff is real. And if you want to go out like this and with all this inside you and wonder why your back hurts, you got a headache, you got allergies, you got inflammation in your nose, you got inflammation in your joints, you're stiff, you got phlegm in your lungs, you're coughing all the time, you're fatigued, and you want to know why am I going through this? Don't look any further than what you're putting in your body, what's on your plate. If you got a big bloody mess of pus and blood on your plate, you're not gonna feel great. For 2 minutes, for a short period of time, you can get high. As crackheads feel good for a minute. Why? When they get their hit, that feels, they feel, but then that goes away and they need another fix. So that big old steak and chicken fried liver, that's cool for, that hop you up for a second, but then the fall down ain't no joke. So I definitely recommend to get this stuff out, because once you get like the really, really scary looking versions of this stuff out, I mean, it is pretty finite. And this is the reality. See, we don't have to live the way we live. We don't have to live in turmoil and in stress and anxiety and in ugliness. But for this to happen, we have to have a total elevation of consciousness, just on not a two or three people, but the population. But this is reality. It's unrealistic to say that all urban centers are just disappear. No, but they can be transformed. Not everybody's going to go off and go live in the mountains, in the woods, or that's not realistic. But this kind of image, this is realistic. But it would take a massive change in consciousness. And that consciousness doesn't come from just reading books and sitting around thinking about it and making up philosophies. It comes from practicing the Mucusless Diet Healing System, making these changes physiologically, transforming your blood. And this is no longer just a piece of art, but it becomes the goal. It becomes reality, the manifestation of that. With the earth ships, check out on this channel, Dylan Kegg did a wonderful presentation at the 2019 Arid Day celebration about our vision of an arid village and earth ships. And just there's no reason why we should still be building homes the way they do, because they cost too much money and they're too weak. They're not strong, and they waste a lot of resources. Where if you get into the earthship model, they're cheaper to make, they're stronger, they last longer, they're sustainable. There's no reason not to go in that direction and have them. But what does a pus and mucus government do? In many locations, they say you're not allowed to build that here. We'll tear it down if you try to build something like that. So that's the pus and mucus type of thing. We got to change. The more that we change, the way that the cynical system operates is they're going to come along with it. It might be kicking and screaming, but they will come along. And we see that, the power of, look at what's happening with the veganism right now. I mean, we predicted that's what was going to happen. Me and Brother Air, we used to talk about, first part of this grand transition to this reality will be veganism will start to become more mainstream. We know that it's going to be a junk food veganism that a lot of people jump onto, but it's going to be part of that transition. And if you can catch them, you say, okay, well, that's cool that you are compassionate about the animals and that kind of great. Get compassionate about yourself, because you don't want to fall back into that. If you eat poorly, you'll fall back in to that unempathetic kind of mode, and that's not good. And so yeah. So my final thoughts on Mr. Matt Stonie is somebody get him a copy of the Mucusless Diet book, and and I wish him well. And that would be, I mean, that could be a way for a lot of people to get exposed to the mucus. If one of these guys gets sick, and if they at least know about the Mucusless Diet and they check it out and they use it to clean themselves up, then and do videos on that, then there's a lot of people get exposed to the Mucusless Diet real quick. Like if this dude got sick and then and he knew about the Mucusless Diet, and then if it's like, all right, if you can do this, then let's see you do some enemas and fast. Like that's my challenge. So he's got the Matt Stonie challenge. I got a challenge for Matt Stonie. I got the Mucusless Diet fasting challenge. Be mucusless eat nothing but mucus-free foods for 2 weeks, and then fast for 3 days at the end of that, and do enemas the whole time. Lemon juice and distilled water enemas. That's my challenge to Mr. Stonie. Because then there's also the negative repercussions for not only he's eating like this, but he's inspiring millions of people to do these challenges. So that's not going to be good for your spirit and your soul and your dharma either. To have that kind of influence. Now you're influencing people to shorten their life, to eat, doing these challenges, and it's framed in pus and mucusdom. It's framed in this happy, and that's so funny. He's eating so much. Wow, it's framed in this circus kind of atmosphere and concept. But that's the tragedy, as we say, the tragedy of nutrition. It's just it's sickening and it's sad. And so it's one thing if it's just this dude eating like this, but he's inspiring people to do the challenges. And I would say he probably more so, because the one thing that I could at least say about Nikocado is, and maybe I don't know how many challenges he's doing. I don't know how many people he's influencing besides people that want to get famous on YouTube. I don't know how many everyday mom and pop in the kitchen, like how many people he's influencing to do these challenges, to do some kind of challenge or to eat like that. If anything, I mean, he's pretty self-deprecating, kind of like, where people were watching that like, yeah, I don't want to do what this guy, I'm glad I'll watch him do it, but I don't want to do that. This guy's a little different because he's, I guess for at least right now, he's maintaining somewhat of a youthful look, his physiological situation. He's just able to really handle acid well, that uric acid. Physiologically, he's got a gift, which is not a gift because it's only going to make things a lot harder later, where, as Eric says, more chemical interference. That's from Mucusless Diet when he's talking about and defining lean type of physiology. He's saying it deals with mucus and pus in a different way, and it creates more chemical interference, which in the short term is not as big a deal, but over time, as the organs start to, acidosis starts to take over, the organs start to get weaker, the skin elasticity starts to go. It's really not a good thing. It gets pretty ugly. And so, but that's a deep thing that I just kind of realized, like, yeah, this dude is inspiring millions of people to shave off months and years of their life by doing these challenges and to promote this, to make this as if this is some grand kind of thing. And that is quite sad. And so on our end, what we're going to do, we'll put the mucus-free challenges out there, and we'll start coming up with our own challenges. And maybe somebody will one day, maybe not right away or this decade, but one of these days, somebody's going to want to do a mucus-free challenge, and that'll catch on whenever people are ready. So we'll at least put that seed out there, and we'll start doing it ourselves. But yeah, Juan says very sad. Yes, it is sad. I mean, it's gallon of Jello. What is, I don't know what some of this stuff is. Giant Go-Go Curry Challenge. But it's like a lot of these are challenges. It's all these challenges. And there's probably, this has 37 million views. Wow. I wonder, let me see if other people did, if like a lot of people are doing his challenges. Oh, we got to watch this chili eating contest, just to, because part of this video is just to kind of get into some other elements. So I'm just curious. Oh, there's a whole line of people. What? Dang, it's got 105 million views to watch white folks eat pepper. There's a couple. All right. I see a couple of Asian people in there. All right. She's like tapping out, like tap. I'm done. I'm out. Drink that milk. Drink the milk, because that's a good combination. Hot peppers. Oh man. Whoa. All right. So we got the 1620. I don't know why that number was it, but let's see if other people did the fry challenge. Yeah. So we got this, folks did the fry challenge. They upped the ante a bit, 6,000 fries. So they're trying to get famous. They got their 2.5 million views. Cool. We got, oh, come on, brother. Please. Like, and that's why you don't have as many views as them. You little trying to be copycatting, don't even get as many views. What is this? You got a lot of followers though. You got 10.2 million subscribers.
Right, this is insane.
Why has he got it?
This smoke's from my face. Don't take friends. Those ones, I hate those ones.
They're yummy.
Slip down my throat. I nearly had death by fire. What the?
Man, so he almost killed himself for some views. For some views to eat some mucus. That is what we're dealing with here. 1,000 when you're not, that ain't that many. compared to these other guys. So yeah, so the challenge is real, and there's a bunch of these challenges. It looks like all these challenges. What? Those are a lot of, and then we'll get the kids involved. That's something.
Order 40 large fries. 40 large fries.
One large fry at McDonald's and buy a bunch of French fries. My favorite.
My favorite.
Yeah, so we'll.
Look at the fries, yo. So guys, now
I guess they're not gonna show them eating it. I don't know. It's sad out here. This is sad. This is some let's see. The challenge meaning difficult task from 1954. All right, good Aqua, good one. Good etymology. Look up here. What else we got there? Pocky challenge. The world's largest, dumbest French fry. It is the dumbest French fry. What is that?
Cucumber pie. Pull out a Coke. Ready for the Big Ten? Yeah. This is gonna be the world.
And that's something I don't even do videos about, just fried foods, because I assume most people know fried foods is not good. And when you just think about that, you're deep frying in this boiling oil, and you put stuff in there with breading on it and egg and all that stuff, and it fries it into this concoction that's so concentrated. The fats on that, and such a concentration of mucus and pus, and you eat it. And again, people ask why. Why did so-and-so pass away at such a young age? Why did I get this stroke? Why I get this heart attack? Why I got these sugar metabolism issues and my diabetes and this? Why? But they didn't think about that deep fried cheesecake that they ate at the county fair, or deep fried pickle, or whatever it is. They deep fry everything now. It's fair. This is silly. I'm just gonna eat that. It looks like a big hash brown, or not hash brown, but hush puppy. Okay. So sometimes it's a nice meal that is calorie loaded. Right. Yeah, a lot of the good calories, not the bad calories, but the good calories. It's rough. It's rough out here. And remember the old man versus food. I definitely can't play any of the audio on these. But heck, they're still making these. It's 3 weeks ago. Man. I mean, I remember this just being on, it was like 5, 6 years, 7 years ago. It was like on TV. I'd go to a friend's house and watch him, because I didn't watch any of his stuff. I didn't have a TV watching stuff, but they go around. You just think of all the resources. It's like all the resources that go into these eating shows, and it's like these gluttony shows all on the cooking channel, the Food Network, and all this kind of stuff. It's just unadulterated gluttony and a celebration of it. You know, just a give me a hug, you gluttonous bastard, give me a hug. You know what I mean? It's just such a celebration of pain and suffering. You know, the depression, you know, the same thing. It's like those connections are not being made. I'm going to be making some videos coming up with a good friend of mine, Oliver. We're going to be on here, and he's really into release, learning how to, the emotional release side of this, which, you know, it's all part of it. I talk about it a little bit, but I want to get into more of that because it's, you know, when you have this, there's a reason. Like, you take all these people and look at all the stimulation. Yeah. You know, and then what the kind of stuff that I see and I imagine is all of these people doing an enema and then fasting for several days and eating nothing but mucus-free foods. You're talking about a fall of folks, and that's why we talk so much about the transition where, you know, you wouldn't have as bad of a fall. But just if you take all the stimulation from these folks, the entire vibe, this desire to just be here and cheer on the gluttony, it can almost transform overnight. Like with some strategically placed fasts, that entire thing, like you wake up from a drunken stupor, like whoa, with a hangover, with a, you know, the pus hangover, you know, it really is like waking up after having a really crazy drunk high night of crazy debauchery, and you wake up from it and you're like, was that me clapping for that? Was that me eating that? Like, what was, you know, you wake up. And well, I guess it's good to see that, you know, man versus food is still a thing. Now, how sad is this? Let's start it off with an image of a cow that's on its way, that's on death row, you know, dead cow walking. We can start the video there. Then we have our establishing shots, and then our establishing pus shot. And you know, probably using some kind of, I don't want, yeah, if I do the audio, they'll tag it, definitely. And they might tag it anyway, but they definitely will if they get the audio on there. So this is just a good old greasy spoon burgers. You got the blood coming out the burger still, you know. I mean, that looks like someplace I want to go hang. I want to go hang out here. This is like where the party's at right here. Yeah. This is where all the cool kids hang out. Is this place. Maybe these are old episodes of this or something, because he looks like he looks like I remember he looked back in the day. I think he the Travel Channel. Yeah, we're gonna travel and yeah, hell burger. Death fryers and hell burger. It is what it's all about here. Hey, I guess I should have said that. Yeah, the object of the show is for him to eat the worst and the most food in from these restaurants, and stuff pizza. It's all these challenges. The stuffed pizza challenge, which I guess, I mean, that was the whole point of Man versus Food, was like each episode is a challenge to be as gluttonous as possible. And so I guess it's like a arm wrestling competition. We're gonna eat this big old thing. Woo! Yeah! Hey, get some pus. I mean, just think about how that used to feel. You know, they get you pus, get you a big 40, a bunch of alcohol. You know, you in your little zone, little pus zone. Maybe with less rhythm than I just demonstrated, as I've seen people more falling over themselves and just can't quite find the beat. But hey, what is that chili there with it? There's sauce or something. Ooh, the oldest food challenges in America. What does that mean? Is that just chili? I mean, I guess it used to be the old chili eating contests is something that's as American as apple pie. But that's what gets me is it's just all the cheering. Like, yeah, I mean, this is, see, and for all the people that want to talk about like the face mat, like this is the level of intelligence that we're dealing with. So we shouldn't be surprised when we see the kind of idiocy that we're seeing where people, eat, they got the face mask on and they take it off, eat a few pieces of pizza and some, burger and put the face mask back on. Like that's what you get. This is the level of intelligence that we're dealing with here. The artery clogger challenge. It's like the suicide challenge. I mean, it's like who can get the heart attack fastest? How about that challenge? Is that all these people cheering? I mean, just. And that young bro, he don't have a shot, man. He doesn't have a chance, man. I mean, I see these guys, especially the little kids, and my way I operate, I just want to give them a book, man. Like, hey, little, like, be like a 10-year-old kid and be like, hey, man, hey, here. When you learn how to read this, please, or go check out the audio book version, because it's like, man, these folks don't have a chance. But understand that this is why things are as bad as they are. Don't look any further behind. Don't look for nothing besides this. Don't try to make all this other stuff up and try to bring all these other excuses in. This is the problem. The young people that don't have a chance. Young people that's brought up in this world where this is considered normal, where this is considered acceptable. Instead of evil, it's put on a pedestal. It said, this is fun. This is all American, good-humored fun. When it's all about tragedy, it's all about death. It's all about, raising up folks that's going to be sicker than their parents, to have a whole new generation of people asking why. Why am I going through this pain and this suffering? I'm a good person. I paid my taxes. I gave to my church. I helped an old lady across the street. Why am I suffering like this? Because you ate the way that you ate. And no one was there to tell you that it was wrong. No one was there to help you make that connection. That if you eat in a way that's against the laws of nature, you are on a time limit. The clock is ticking for you. We're just trying to do the best we can to clean ourselves up as much as we can so that we can have an opportunity to transform the human species, to give our bloodline the best opportunity. So we're not coming from a place of like, oh, all you got to do is you eat better and you're going to live forever. No, that's not my message. I'm saying, let's clean up humanity. It has to start with what you're putting in your body, because once you figure that out for yourself, that's going to carry over to your children and your children's children. And then instead of having this poor young man here that doesn't have a chance, and maybe hopefully at some point in his future, he gets a hold of the Mucusless Diet book and he becomes a great before and after story. But as it stands right now, this is tragedy waiting to happen, and I hate to see it. I hate to see it with the young people. You know, it's like the old folks, y'all okay. I mean, y'all had your shot. You didn't figure it out. It's still the same. Come get it. You know, come get you some here. But the young people following in the footsteps, so impressionable. And parents not understanding the power that they have to shape their children's diet, to shape their future health. But you can't be a parent that's trying to feed your children healthy and then you're eating crap, because that doesn't work. And I've seen parents try to do that. That doesn't work. You got to incorporate this for yourself and then feed your children coming out of your newfound consciousness, your understanding of the transition diet. You learn how to transition yourself, you can transition your children. But that other way around ain't gonna work. But, you know, until we wake up and this, you know, a million views, all this stuff, millions and millions of views, totally acceptable, totally, you know, primetime television, clap. Yeah, like what are we clapping for? Good job. You shortened your life. Good job, buddy. You good job. I'm on TV, you know. I mean, just we always say pus and mucus culture. We're taking a look. This is you got to make that connection. What are you doing? What is that? That looks like a big old what's this? So again, I guess was this the wrestlers? Is this a kiss convention? Oh, come on now. Come on. Come on. Come on. Why? Oh. Are we that's not nice, but are we worth saving? Is this all in vain? This is the reality we're coming from. Is this an insurmountable job that we're trying to do here? Man, what is... is he going to eat that or what? Oh, man. That doesn't even look appetizing. Like, that's just like, you know, it's like, hey, all right, I mean, that looks like that meat is old. You know, it was the cow died like 2 years ago and they just froze that. And then they cooked this up and they painted it. They painted it black. Just all kinds of so that, I mean, is that what we need? Do we need to make videos of us eating fruit and people clapping while we're eating? You know, like have some melon and I have a whole bunch of people behind me just, yeah, woo, clap for he's eating melon. You know, he's eating some apples. Is that what we need to compete? To compete with the, you know, there's so much celebration. You know, you already know it's going down in Vegas. But that's what gets me is just all these people clapping. Oh, this video is kind of bad quality. Then the last thing I wanted to talk about. So not only that, then you got shows like this, which I know we touched on this before, but it's sad because on something called the Learning Channel, TLC, we have a program of exploitation of obesity. So this kind of show, now this is the one that's going to make people that are overweight, might be having some domestic issues or something that they're going on in their life, but they can turn this on and they can feel better about themselves. Like, well, I'm not that bad. I'm not going through that. How sick is it to be a part of a society where we're paying somebody to watch them suffer is what is the right thing to do, is acceptable. It's something to be on the learning channel. What are we learning about? We're learning that people suffer and that it's sad. We know that. And I know somebody would say, well, in the show, they're trying to help them, and I don't know all the details. If you want to help them, but give us a shot. You want to give us an episode. Let me do a one. And give me a chance to help. Give me a year and a chance with someone that's real serious about transformation. Because we're not talking about cutting out your intestines. Because isn't that what? Correct me if I'm wrong. It seemed like I remember that being part of it. Like this show or one of these shows like this, you had to lose enough weight, and then if you lost enough weight, they would pay for you to get the surgery where they cut out your intestines and then supposed to make you skinny. What's that called? Gastric bypass surgery. I mean, is that what's going on? And so you'll give me a chance. Because then that's a good question. Well, what was Spira? What would you do? How would you get the person started? Well, with all this network money, let's take some of that network money. We're getting you an in-home colonic system. First of all, you're gonna have your colonic system in the house, and you can add lemon juice, the lemon juice colonic system. You're gonna get you the colonic system. We're gonna get you the Kalima board. We're gonna have all that now. We're gonna install that in your house. Then we're gonna get you transitioning, and so we'll take an inventory of all you eat now, and we're gonna find a way where there's no cold turkey. We're gonna find something that's better than what you're doing right now. So if what you do is eat 20 of these, if that's made with white flour, maybe we'll switch over to some other kind of better flour, so and we're going to transition. But this is just grotesque, and the reason that we're watching it, sorry guys, is but it's real. It's like what's up? This has 3.1 million views. This is acceptable. This is what is okay. And people aren't trying to get these people real help, because they don't know how to really help. They don't, because they're still going to be feeding them crap. Or they'll bring in if they do something fasting wise, which gives fasting a bad name, they'll bring in somebody that'll do some medical doctor that'll extreme fast them. And then they lose weight, and then they're on the show a year later because they gained all the weight back. Why? Well, they did the 40-day water fast and they lost 200 pounds, but then a year later they gained all that weight back. Why? No transition methodology, no transition diet. It's not standard when it should be standard. And from all of these different therapeutic modalities, whether you're talking about a hospital, you're talking about an addiction center, rehabilitation center, you're talking about a prison, whatever you're talking about, if you're not dealing with a transition diet at the foundation of it, you're not talking about healing, you're not talking about rehabilitation. You're playing games. We don't got time for that anymore. Because this don't have to be like this. Or reality doesn't have to be like this. We chose this. And don't say, well, I've never watched this. We chose this. You're here. We're in this thing together. And so we're going to have to change. We got to do this together. Because this doesn't have to be. This reality is grotesque. It's sad. And instead of putting it, to make a few people feel better whose lives are falling apart anyway, to try to watch somebody else suffering just a little bit more than them so that they feel a little better. It's reprehensible, it's sick, and it's sad. And that part of me, when I watch this stuff, I just want to help. I want to help these folks. But I don't have the resources. I don't have people can't listen to me. I'm that weird dude on YouTube talking about fruits and vegetables and enemas, so don't. I'm not, haven't been on 2020 or interviewed by anybody interesting. I don't have the access to Dr. Oz. There's probably, though, you probably find episodes of Dr. Oz where he's went and did consultations with these kind of people or whoever, all these kind of folks. Why y'all? Where is it? Robin loves going to grocery shopping with her nephew. And look, and you see it. You see what they're buying. Okay, Aqua, yeah, he confirmed that a lot of these people trying to get surgery on this show, and it's really sad. Yeah, it's pushing sickness to a new level. Yeah, but my whole point here, and even showing this, I mean, we have to look and analyze this stuff and understand it from a mucus-free perspective through, the wisdom. When you read these books, Mucusless Diet Healing System, all of Eric's work, it's our responsibility to then turn around and examine the world with new eyes, with a new lens. It's like taking off a big foggy face mask that's covering your eyes and your nose and mouth, taking that off, and for the first time, you're seeing reality in a whole new way. And sometimes it's overwhelming. But once you get your bearing, then it's important for us to see. Because for me, one of the reasons I do this kind of thing, we have this conversation, you're going to have those days. You're going to have those days where your parents or maybe your children or somebody in your life, your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your teacher, your mentor, your coach, somebody is going to see you trying to get yourself together, eating fruits and green leafy vegetables, and they're going to say something that makes you feel as if you're the one doing something extreme. And they might even say it as they're eating a burger. They'll be eating a burger, and they're gonna try to make you feel little. They're gonna try to belittle you. And so for me, something that helped me was sitting down and exposing myself to the irrationality and the grotesque nature of the pus and mucus world. That meant watching stuff like this. That means watching slaughterhouse videos. That means being open to the worst of humanity. To not run from it, to not ignore it, but to deal with it head on. And for me, that became and is a source of inspiration for me to push a little harder with the Mucusless diet. Do an extra enema. Put a few more lemons in there. Juice a little bit more. Fast a little bit longer. It did that for me. I know it's not going to be the same for everybody. Some people we show this stuff in, and I've seen people get devastated. Where they get in a state of depression. It doesn't necessarily inspire them. So I understand that. And that's why we do disclaimers and we say this might not be a video for you to watch. I didn't say that today, but and this isn't that hardcore. Sometimes we get a little more hardcore. But for me, that is, you know, as we're kind of divulging the secrets, I mean, that'd been a secret for me of you got to find ways to be inspired. And everybody's a little different in what inspires you. For me, like watching this kind of stuff, and I don't watch it much because you just need a little, just to get that overall aura of it, you know. And I see the brother, it's like every time I see this people in this kind of situation, I want to help them. I can't laugh at it. I'm here to make fun. I can't do that because I see myself in him, and I see myself or my loved ones in these people that's suffering. And nobody's coming to help them in the way that they need to be helped. With a message, and that's why we always talk about the sanitarium, you know, the healing center, the healing village, the arid healing village, that vision. And I know something we talk about it and just sounds like, oh man, these guys are, you know, they're talking out. You know, they got these wild ideas about creating some kind of thing or nation or whatever. But you got to have a place when you want to help people heal on this level. You got to have a facility. You got to have a place where you can monitor them. You can really take them through the real process. And to be there long enough to where they can go through that process. And of course, it'll take a lot to get admitted into that kind of program because you gotta want to be there, and you gotta get over that hump for yourself. You at least first gotta be in that position where you want to make that change. Man. I think we must have watched part of this before. So all I got to say is Mucusless Diet Healing System by Professor Arnold Ehret. Spira Speaks. Physical fitness through superior diet, rational fasting, definite cure of chronic constipation. Got Spira's notes. Got to get educated. We got to educate other people. And it starts with having good information at the foundation. Then you move on to the community and the guidance and the coaching. But you got to start with that information. And what's so powerful about the Mucusless diet is that initial transformative power that it has, that it's a short book, as simple as you think it's gonna be, is so powerful. When I always say, you don't have to believe in all of it, you don't have to agree with all of it, with all the philosophies, but open yourself up to that information and really get into it. So that's the 600-pound life is very, very sad. And he said the stream went down. Sorry about that. What? Wow, policy violations. Uh-oh. I'm just now seeing your comments where, so I don't know if unless, so I don't know if I'm live now or not, or what's going on. So I'm gonna keep talking. You guys let me know in the chat what's happening. I don't know. They might have tried to hit me for, you know, maybe like a copyright, but I'm not. Let's see, live stream, copyright notice. Your stream was, okay. Here, I'll share my message. Due to a copyright match, your stream was interrupted. Streams are interrupted when copyright content is detected. After copyrighted material is no longer being streamed, streams are automatically re-enabled. Okay. Yeah. So I'll show you my let's see. So here's the message that says, due to copyright match, your stream was interrupted. The streams are interrupted when copyrighted content is detected. After copyrighted material is no longer being streamed, streams are automatically re-enabled. Sincerely, thank you. So maybe if you're watching this in the future, I will go in. If they don't take this whole video down, I'll go in and you can automatically delete the parts that are where copyrighted material is found, and so I'll do that. But we'll see. He said, and that's he said he was getting hype. It's like, yeah, of course, is when the real stuff starts hitting, you always know that YouTube is gonna shut it down. It's like when it's time to get real, YouTube has a way of really shutting things down. So I should say, check out my website, mucus-freelife.com. You got Instagram, Professor Spira on Instagram, Prof Spira. Subscribe to the YouTube channel here. Give us a like and a share. Really helps us out because, as you see, YouTube, they're touchy, and they like shutting things down. But yeah, I'm glad we're back here, and be interesting to see how much is censored from that part that happened. But so what I'm gonna do real quick, just for maybe this last little bit of the show, I'm going to invite. I'm gonna post up a link, and if you want to come on here with the video and chat with me for a moment, then. And you got to have good enough internet connection and at least have a video capability. But yeah, you can come on here. So right now, and I'll just do a couple of these real quick. So I just posted. So if you want to chat, hit that link, the StreamYard link, and what happens? You'll end up in a kind of like a little a backstage thing, and you can come on here. We can talk a minute, and then we'll wrap it up. But then I'll give you guys a couple minutes if for anybody that wants to join in and have a little chat, have a little discussion here. So yeah, so YouTube. So that's duly noted that they are detecting. Especially probably on some of those like TLC, them kind of channels where if they're detecting video, because back in the day, you really only had to worry about the audio, where if you had any audio from it involved, they would pick up the audio, and then it was like, but now this is the first time I think they've ever did a real time blockage based on copyright. But any scholar understands and knows that what I'm doing is 100% permissible I'm in the United States, so under United States copyright law, but most copyright law, if you're making, sort of an educational type of discussion or analysis, and I don't have the audio there, we're having a discussion and talking about it, that's creative license. That's supposed to be permissible under copyright law. But of course, they don't have that kind of nuance. They just say, you're using some of somebody's video, and they shut it down. But it is what it is. Yeah, like the chorus says earlier, later for the haters. Keep it grooving and moving. Yeah, that's what it is. So again, anybody, if you want to hop on here and be on the podcast and say what's up, a couple more seconds, I give you a chance to do that. And then if not, we'll go ahead and wrap this episode up. Or if anybody has any last minute questions, I will try to field those as well. But this is what we deal with. This is part of, as soon as it gets too real, they don't get scared if it gets too real. As soon as it gets real, they want to pull the plug. And so, but that's how it is. That's why, we push those boundaries every once in a while. We say, okay, let's see how far can we push it. And look at all the kind of stuff it's like all this stuff that we were watching is totally okay to have put up there. Watching people commit suicide, eating themselves to death. That's okay. But me watching a video and doing commentary, I'm not making fun of them. And you saw I wasn't making fun of these folks. I feel bad for them. I want to help them. But we also got to help ourselves by looking at this, by understanding and confronting the reality that we are in. And so, and the point that I was making, and I don't know how much of it was cut off, but the point that I was making, for me, watching that kind of stuff in short bursts, not all the time at all, it's like me watching this right now will last for months. I don't have to watch that again. I have enough motivation now to stay on the straight and narrow and getting myself together that I don't have to subject myself to those images and stuff for a while. But what I was explaining was that I find inspiration and motivation in that, in seeing that level of suffering. And not only that level of suffering, of unnecessary suffering, but to see how it is applauded, to see how it is put upon a pedestal, that it is given this grand space in people's lives, that it's thought to be totally normal, totally okay. And that just bothers me. It really, really does. And it gives me great inspiration to, as I said, I don't want to be associated with that or a part of that. So I'm going to do me another enema. I'm going to eat me a little bit more fruit, that kind of mentality. And let's see, question. What do you think about a diet including lemons, apples, and salads? I'm not I think that's good, but I don't know I'm not real sure what the question is, because of course, I don't know, are you saying a diet of only lemons, apples, and salads? That's not something for extended period of time, but if physiologically, if you're in a particular transition, you might do that for a day or a week or longer. But part of the system is being able to change it up. That's how the system really functions properly, is when you eat a certain way for a period of time in a particular way that's going to help to continue to move the old slime and the mess out of your system. But then you shift it at the right time. When you can shift everything, then you can, it causes even more elimination. And so that's an important element to understand. So when you ask if it's cool to just lemons, apples, and salads, that's, you want to be dealing with more than that in the context of the transition. And for most people, that's not sustainable for any real long period of time to just be that mucus free. I've done things like that for a period of time, but not for extended periods of time, at least not until you really get yourself pretty cleaned up. Steve asked, what do you think Eric would say if he saw your video tonight and where society has gone since he first wrote those books? Man, that's a good question, because I think he would. I think he would be appalled, but at the same time, there'd be a little bit of "I told you so," because everything, so much of what he said, has just logically come to pass, and you take what he said and just apply the logic, and you see where we're at. So he wouldn't have to really change a whole lot of what he said, because so much of what he said in the original book from 1920 applies directly to today. But as far as that, I mean, things in his day, they still had the traveling circuses where they would have the different, you might have some obese people as part of that circus tradition. That would be where that, it's that kind of thing, the oddities and that kind of stuff. So I mean, that from that perspective, he could understand, like, you take the modern day media and explode that, that Barnum and Bailey circus model all across, to millions and millions of people, then, you have that kind of situation. But I think he would be saddened. But the one thing is, if he saw it now, now as it is, but if he had been able to be around a little longer, then we could be in a whole different situation, because I think he could have really changed the game, and that's, that we won't go down that road, but you know what I'm talking about. Definitely sad. Let's see. Mucoid plaque and constitutional growth delay correlation after years of wrong eating. Not sure what you're asking. Mucoid plaque and constitutional growth delay. If you're just talking about, well, I mean, just the eating of pus and mucus forming foods, those are things that really need to be studied, because one thing that consistently happens when people get on the mucusless diet is you get younger. You appear to get younger when compared to people eating pus and mucus forming foods, and you don't age as fast. You age, but you don't age as fast. And so, your internal organs are not being taxed at the same rate. And so your experience of aging is totally different. And when you're talking about, growth, there's an unfoldment. It's almost like eating pus and mucus. It makes things unfold faster than it otherwise would have. And so, and you hear these things now more often, where young people, and people blame it on the hormones and this kind of stuff that's in the meat or whatever. But, you see young people that are become able to be sexually active way younger, but it's this dynamic of, and it's almost like the species trying to save itself, where it's like you are aging yourself so rapidly, then, mentally, you're not ready for anything, but physically, here's a chance. It's a chance that some more humans will be created, because you're not living that long. You're not living long enough to really to do this the right way. If I can say that if I can suggest that there's a right way, or at least a mucus-free way that it doesn't cause this kind of enhanced and sped up aging process, then yeah. And Manifest Me says, looking to buy a juicer soon. Any recommendations? Well, you want to definitely check out my man Steve that's on here. Check out his channel. That's the Steve Prusek, the Juice Guru. Give a shout out to him. He's got all the information that you want on juicers. And but definitely check out a slow juicer. I just today bought a Shine juicer for traveling, and that was on the recommendation of Steve. He's like, as I was asking, man, I want want to travel, something better to travel with, because I was traveling around with this little this old Jack Lane thing, and it's just heavy and that kind of stuff. But this is gonna be a nice little, little compact juicer. It's like 2 pounds, so I'm looking forward to taking that out on the road with me and checking it out. And it's only 200 watts. I actually didn't know that when I looked at the specs, and it only, when you turn it on, it takes 200 watts, which means I can use it with my solar power station. I got a 500 watt solar power station by Jackery, and so I'll be able to. It should work. That's a pure sine wave station, so it should do fine with that. And so I'm excited to try that, because that means now I can actually really juice on the go. I don't have to. Before, when I wanted to juice in the middle of the woods, I have a 1,000-watt inverter, turn my van on, connect the inverter to the van while it's on, because I would deplete the battery too much. If it would work for a couple minutes, but then I might drain the battery of the vehicle out, which you don't want to do, obviously. And so I would turn on the vehicle, and then I have plenty of power that you're basically running off the gas at that point, the alternator and the gas. But yeah, this will be a game changer. I'm definitely looking forward to that. And oh yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, but that's yeah. So, but as far as the juicer, there's like I said, check out Steve's information, and there's but I definitely would say look into some kind of slow juicer. And if you can't afford one of the more expensive, nice ones, there are a couple budget ones, even like even the Shine one. I mean, some people are getting that one, just the Shine, and it's kind of small, and it's got a small top. You got to really chop everything up real good before you put it in there, and that'll be a little different for me, because I've always used a lot of the cheaper juicers, the cheaper centrifuge juicers. The Breville was something that I used to recommend to people to get. It's just a cheaper juicer. It's got a big top on it. It's like, you get more oxygen into the juice. It's not as high quality juice, but it works, and it's good. If or at least I used to say it was good. Now I try to tell people that if you can get it, go ahead and really investigate the slow juicers, because it's a better quality juice, and you use more of it and stuff. But and I still have a Champion. I got a Champion juicer that was a gift from my old trombone teacher, and Dr. Diamond. And shout out to Dr. Diamond. He's turning 99 very soon, 99 years old. And he was the first person in my life that was vegetarian. He introduced the concept of vegetarianism to me. And because I didn't know anybody else, and he was like, I'm vegetarian. And he was, back then was like in his 60s and 70s back then, so now he's in his 90s. But let's see, another question. What do you think about pharmaceuticals, and can they be gotten rid of with the Mucusless Diet Healing System? So so as far as pharmaceutical, you take the pharmaceuticals, they're leave behind and embedded into your tissue system the residue and this toxic kind of waste. And depending on what the drug is, now this is not medical advice, it's just my opinion from my experience too. As you start to go down this path, your body is going to, when it has the opportunity, it's going to detox and get rid of this stuff. And it either has to come through your kidneys, or it's going to come through your stool. But that's why we are an advocate of doing the enemas, so that especially when you're fasting or you're kicking up your detox a little bit, you want to just continually get this poison to leave your body. You don't want this stuff sitting there. And I went through periods where I was getting, this would be years into practicing a diet, where I was getting deep into this cleansing, and I would actually taste some of the medicine that I took growing up, the Celdane and the Allegra, especially that old Celdane I took for several years when I was young, before they took it off the market because it killed somebody. But it has this real chalky taste. It wasn't coated with anything. It was just this chalk. It literally tastes like taking chalk and trying to swallow it. And I could never really swallow pills. I would sit there with it in my mouth for a long time, like trying to mentally get myself, which told me that it wasn't natural, that I shouldn't be doing this. It was a natural aversion to pills. But as far as on the path, one of the reasons that we talk so much about the transition diet and the importance of going slow is so that you don't have to put a lot of that stuff back into your system so rapidly. And we've seen that where people that do these really extreme kind of fasts, and all of a sudden this poison gets dumped into the system, and then it's not good. It's not a good situation. So, but yeah, that's definitely, when I turn that off, but yeah, it's definitely Mucusless Diet Healing System. Is very much recommended if you want to stop taking pharmaceuticals, or you have stopped and you want to safely and responsibly eliminate the old poisons from that. Then the Mucusless diet methodology is very much recommended. And they said I travel a lot to hit jam sessions. That sounds perfect. Yeah, jam sessions. That's what I'm talking about. Time to make some music for people. Some live music. Man, I'm missing it. I'm gonna hit you up, Steve. Yep. That's what's up. And 99 years old. Yep, he's still doing his thing. I mean, he still goes out. He goes out and walking around and goes. He lives on his own. He takes care of himself. He jumps in the car and goes and goes, checks out live music. He's not able to play anymore, and he was sad about that, because he's some different things happening, so he can't play his trombone anymore, really. But he still goes out and checks, and I know he still I know he still does it sometimes, but as far as going out and playing concerts and stuff, he's not doing that right now, I don't think. But yeah, he's definitely had a huge impact on my life. Somebody that really was really a mentor at a time, kind of a tender time in my life when, just had a real profound impact on me, and shaped, that part of me the music, and the love of music, and deciding to go down that path, later on, that was definitely, I owe a lot to Dr. Diamond, definitely. So it says the question: does mucoid plaque stunt your growth? I mean, it could. Mucoid plaque is really just the expression of the issue, the problems and the issues that we have, and that's that, because it's one of those things where if you're blowing your nose or you're eliminating mucoid plaque, there's always a deeper issue to consider. And so, but as far as that alone, that's kind of the result of the improper eating. So then you have to look at the diet and say, okay, well, does this diet stunt people's growth? That gets into, it's hard to say for sure as far as, well, what does that do in terms, growth, and what's growth for, the different sizes, because it's all relative. There are certain peoples that tend to have, different average heights and that kind of stuff. My question tends to be more on the internal organ health, the health of the internal organs, the health of the overall, regardless of what the size is. But I will say this. So on my transition, I've noticed that, like, my body, it's almost like whatever you're supposed to do in terms of unfolding, it happens slower when you're eating better, on the Mucusless diet. And that's been my experience and observation, because even when I got into the diet when I was 19 years old, it literally turned the clock back to the point where, and for people that have never seen my before and after, maybe I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up here. Again, from the webinar that I'm working on. If you want to participate, this is going to be a great webinar. If you want to check this out when I first drop it, just make sure you're signed up. Go down below, sign up for the Insiders Club if you're not already signed up, and you'll get notifications when I'm about to drop it. But yeah, here's my one of my before and afters. And so you see this guy, which is like close to 300 pounds here. Might have just started the diet, a little bit. So I think I even lost a little bit of weight here. But then, a year later, this physiology that I had, I went from with the pain in my hands and my back, and it was the way that elders described their pain, like pain, just waking up and having pain all over the place. That was the reality at the age of 18 for me. Where I looked older, I looked like I was in my 30s. Most people, I could do things and not get carded because I just looked like I was in my 30s and when I was 18 years old. And then I turned the clock back, and now I'm like, like kind of like 15 or 16 kind of looking. And then I even it got to a point where I was looking younger than that. And somewhere else I got another before and after picture. Oh well, but so let me see, where is that other before and after picture? Yeah, so what I'm even noticing now at my age, like I almost feel like I'm still growing. Like over the past couple years, my shoulders have actually gotten broader, and I'm it's interesting. It's almost like a second adolescence kind of, not adolescent, but like puberty or something. And in some circles, I started hearing people talk about like old man strength, or when you get a certain age, and there's this period where you kind of go through this like a second puberty, and you get this old man strength, or you start getting that like strength of a man kind of thing. And but I don't know, I've been like seeing it's been like that, almost. It's been interesting. And so those are the kinds of things that we have to research, and we just have to research it on our own bodies, because it's a game changer. Everything, the Mucusless diet is it's a total game changer with everything. And here's the I was on a Boy Scout trip when I took that, but Mucusless diet, it changes. It's a game changer, and this is the path to really begin to rewrite everything. So we rewrite, because everything is different. So the length of time it takes for unfold into an adult, and all those different age characteristics and that kind of stuff is totally different on the Mucusless diet. And what I've seen, the aging process is slower, and some people would criticize that, like, well, no, it's slower because you're gonna live longer, and it's you just age slower. So I mean, isn't that a good thing? But of course, growing up, kids always want to grow up fast. They're like, I want to be grown up, but the wisdom is now you want to grow up slow and you want to, you know, savor the time. And but yeah, no problem. So this has been fun. Then go ahead and wrap up this episode of the Mucus-free Life podcast, and hope you enjoyed yourself. I truly appreciate you being on here. And you know, it's like I said, today started off a little bit kind of you know, I had to kind of push myself a little bit to come on here, but once I'm on here, it's always fun. And you know, even, you know, a few hours ago, I didn't even know what I was going to talk about today. I just was I was like, then I started thinking, I was like, I just literally like sat down a half an hour before. I was like, you know what? Let's do a review of Matt Stonie stuff. Let's check him out and see what that's about. So as always, you know, thank you so much for the support. Please like and share. And I didn't mention we got the GoFundMe, not GoFundMe, but the Indiegogo campaign down below. And we'll do something soon. I'll bring Brother Air back on, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But that's, you know, trying to create art and music that really reflects this time in history and puts the message that we put out in this way, the verbal way, that message also needs to be put out artistically. You know, we need to hit things from all these different angles. And so, and of course, we're musicians and we're very passionate about performing, and that's in creating music. And that for me has been a way to really take my practice to whole different levels. And so if you're interested in that, go down. And of course, that's big help for us to be able to make this album a reality. And so anything that you can share, we love that. And also, all the links are below for all the stuff. We talked about the e-course earlier. If you want to get the book bundle to get the cheapest price on the books, the links for that are down below. But however you get there, it's just about getting there, getting that physiological liberation. Always time. You know, it's always time to try to get it together. You know, every day we get up, that's a new chance. That's a new opportunity to clean yourself out and to gain clarity and control over your life. And this is one of the best ways to do that. To me, it is the best way to do it, to be sustainable with it and to transform yourself, transform your family, your bloodline, your future, and the planet, the future of humanity. This is that thing. This is that Pandora's box that folks have been looking for, continue to search for. This is that. But you know, how long does it take for people to realize that this is that? That is the question. So again, I thank you guys so much for tuning in. And until next time, peace, love, and breath.